get your keys, once you have your little schedule, you're going to go out and find your bus. As you're approaching your bus, you're going to, I'm hoping it's not leaving. You're going to look at it to make sure that it's not leaning to one side. Could be a broken spring, flat tire. You're going to make sure, look at it, make sure that there's no leaks underneath of it. Oil, antifreeze, anything. Look under too while you're looking there. Make sure there's no pipes, wires, or nothing hanging down. Then you're going to kind of walk around the bus. You're going to make sure you don't have no vandalism, no broken glass. As you're walking, now I hate to say this out here, you're not going to walk around your bus because you're going to fall over a hill. But you're at least for this test, you're walking around this way. You're going to walk around the bus. You're going to make sure there's nothing in the road, no trees, limbs, no people, or nothing that would stop the bus from moving in any way. Kind of look for vandalism and damage, broken glass. The back, you're still looking for broken glass, damage, vandalism. As you walk up to the side of the bus here, you're still looking for damage and vandalism. Okay, I got one, I need two. And you're going to throw out your wheel chocks about 1 to 3 inches from your tires. For other ones in our other chain box on the other side. Chalk your wheels. Continue up looking at for damage, vandalism, anything around the bus. You're going to step up on the bus. You're going to turn on your headlights. You're going to turn on your master switch. And you're going to turn on your 4-way flashers. Okay, that is all the lights that will come on while your keys are still in your hand. Okay? Now, this is an international. As we're doing class, we're going to shut the headlights off so the beeping shuts off. Is the only reason we shut those off, okay? Other than that, they would be on still. You're going to walk out the bus. You're going to unhook your latch. Make sure it's not frayed or broken or dry rotted. Reach up, check your mirror to make sure it's secure. Make sure your glass is not broken or cracked in any way. Also, your heater wires, you need to make sure that they are not frayed or broken. Some of them you can see, some of them you can't. You're going to check your turn signal, 4-way flasher, and marker light. All these are different. On your cowl here, you're going to make sure it's not cracked or broken, it is working, and that it is secure. You're going to come to your crossover mirror, you're going to make sure it's secure, it's not cracked or broken. Your glasses, and if it has heater wires, you're going to make sure they're not frayed. The older buses, the heater wire runs down. These are inside. What did we decide this thing was? This little light deflector or whatever we have. Not everybody has these things, okay? But if it does have it, you need to make sure it's secure, not cracked or broken. You're going to check your headlight to make sure it is secure, it's not cracked or broken, and your low beams are working. You're going to check your parking light, your 4-way flasher, and your turn signal to make sure it's not cracked or broken, and they are working, and they're secure. Make sure the number is legible on this side. Make sure your cross arm is secure, that it's not cracked or broken, and it is no leaks on it.
What is the actual reason for putting it on buses?
So children aren't in front of them, so I can see them. It forces them to walk out 6 feet. Once you're going to realize we have a mirror grid, and we're going to let you see. You're going to realize you can't see no one here.
I just seen them just recently put them on July.
Oh no, they've been on here for years. Years these things have been on here. Huh? Yeah, these is, yeah. Oh yeah, those have been on there for years. They were on there when I went to school, so I mean, I know they've been on there for years. You're going to start at the top of the bus. You're going to make sure your 3 amber clearance lights at the top are not cracked or broken. They're secure and they're working. You're going to make sure the school bus sign is legible, it is reflective, and it's not tore or ripped off. You're going to make sure the things above the loading lights, you're going to make sure the eyebrows are secure, they're not broken, hanging down in front of over the lights. You're going to check the 8-way system. Your red and amber lights are both secure, they're not cracked or broken, and the reds are working. You're going to move down to your windshield. You're going to make sure it's not cracked or broken, no foreign illegal stickers on it. The one in the middle is a West Virginia Department of Highway, no it's not. It is a Board of Ed, West Virginia Board of Ed sticker. And you're going to make sure you have your state inspection sticker. I can't reach those, but yes. You're also going to make sure that your windshield wipers are secure and they have proper tension. Some of us are short and we can't reach them. You're going to come and you're going to grab a hold of your grill. You're going to make sure it is secure. Bluebird's worse than an International. They will be loose. Make sure it's secure, not broken. You can see your radiator, your intercoolers, transmission coolers. Make sure they're secure. They're not leaking of anything. This one has the front camera on it. So if you have the camera, make sure it's secure and they're clean. Make sure your bumper is secure, not cracked or broken. And make sure that you have your tow hooks that are secure. You're going to come to this side, you're going to check this crossover mirror, you're going to make sure it's not cracked or broken. It's secure, and if you have heater wires, they're not frayed. You're going to make sure this visor thing is secure, not cracked or broken, and we have it. You're going to make sure that your headlight is secure, not cracked or broken, it is working. You're going to make sure that your return signal, 4-way flasher and parking light is secure, not cracked or broken, and it is working. You're going to make sure this hood latch is secure, not frayed or broken. You're going to make sure this turn signal, 4-way flasher and marker light is secure, not cracked or broken, and it is working. And while you're here, so you don't forget, you're going to make sure this mirror is secure, not cracked or broken, and you're going to make sure that the heater wire is secure, not frayed or cracked or broken. Daggone.
It's international.
Not used to that because mine's a lot heavier. Her phone's coming off too. You're going to make sure that your hood latches and cables are secure, not broken. This one doesn't have a latch, does it?
No, yeah.
Bluebird has a latch on them on the other side. International doesn't. It just depends on the bus. You're going to do a general overview. You're going to look for any excessive oiliness, greasiness, any loose or missing parts. You're going to check and look for any rubbing hoses, broken hoses, rubbing components, or anything like that. Why are we missing something? I don't know, I just broke it.
That's just a bit tight.
So after you do that, you can start coming down. In the back here, you can somewhat see.
Short people.
Yeah.
I'm with you, girl.
Yeah, I know. Where am I at? Okay, you're going to come down. You're going to. I don't like Connie's bus.
It's the same.
Okay, there we are. I don't like Connie's bus. I know what Jacob's is. You're going to check your air compressor and governor. You're going to make sure they're secure. They're not leaking. Also, this one is gear driven.
I think you left the back window down in your truck. Is that your black truck?
I don't have a black truck. I have a burgundy.
Burgundy out front?
Yeah.
I think the back window is open.
Chris,
It's raining.
my keys are laying there. The air compressor, you can't, here's the governor. It's sitting back in here. You really can't see that thing right there is your governor. Sitting behind that,
What? Point to it again. I'll send you this video, Sandra.
this is your governor. Setting behind that is your power steering pump. Make sure it's secure, not leaking, no frayed wires or anything. It is also gear driven, okay? You're going to find some of them that are belt driven. My propane and stuff, they're all belt driven. If they're sitting in the back of the engine, they're gear driven. He needs to know that. Then you're going to come, this is actually your computer, the brain of your bus, but make sure it's secure, no frayed wires. You're going to check your transmission fluid, make sure it's secure, that it's at the proper level. These do have a cold line on them. Yes?
Is a bus like most other vehicles? Does the bus have to be running to check your transmission fluid?
No, these have cold lines on them.
Okay.
Okay?
Is the governor, I've never heard of that. Is it only for gear driven, or is it governors are in every?
That's what actually makes my me have air. It's connected to the air compressor.
I've never heard of it.
All air.
In our test, it'll say the governor shut off. That's
Yes.
your max.
When you hear
PSI,
you
air
hear
pressure.
us driving these buses,
You'll
and you
hear
hear
that
that ish,
Yeah.
that's the governor shutting off.
Oh yes. Okay.
You've heard of these.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I've heard
It's,
of it. Yes.
And you,
yes,
you can
it's your
see
air
it
governor
hitting the
shutting
ground.
off. Yeah.
You'll
And
read
it
on
like
the
blows
test.
dirt
That-
out.
that's
It says
your-
the governor shut off.
That's what runs our air brakes.
Okay.
We have to have the governor, or we don't. Our air brakes aren't working. Okay.
Hence the name.
And it's
Yeah.
Hence the name.
So
and it's pretty powerful too.
Does it ever go by another name?
no.
Okay.
If you come up here, here's your oil. Check to the proper level. Also, on some of these ones are actually locked. Make sure when you do check them that you turn them back around, that they're locked in. Okay. Mine's not locked. It just depends on the bus if they're locked in or not. You have.
What happens if they're not locked in?
Then oil goes all over the friggin' bus. I did it to Jacob's bus.
So do you guys have a rag with you somewhere?
Usually we have.
You got a box of paper towels.
Yeah, in the bus,
Okay.
they give you paper towels. I just grab a paper towel when I check my
Okay,
lights,
yeah.
and you have a paper towel
Okay.
with you. The filters are here. These are your fuel filters and stuff. Just check to make sure they're not leaking and that they're secure. You know, we don't want fluid falling out of them. Check your radiator or your coolant level to make sure it's at the proper level. There is sensors on them, so if they do get down, you're going to set off alarms. Also on these, sitting in the very back here is all your fluids that Junts are responsible for putting in the buses. Now, they're all named because it depends on what kind of bus you have, what kind of fluid do you put in them. Okay, so if you don't know, ask a mechanic. They'll help you get the right fluid for what bus, okay? Yeah. Well, I'm already dirty now. You surrender. I'm already filthy. Also, while you're here, you can reach in here. You can check your fan. Make sure that the blades, especially the plastic ones, will chip off. So make sure your blades are secure. You're going to check your clutch and hub assembly to make sure they are secure. And you're going to make sure your shroud is secure and not cracked or broken in any way. You can look at the back of your radiator too to make sure that it is not leaking. You can check your frame to make sure it's not cracked or welded in any way. On this one, you can actually see it. There's an ABS valve sitting right here. A lot of the buses you cannot see it, but if you can see it, please check it to make sure it's not leaking or anything. All of these lovely colored hoses up here, those are your air hoses. Okay, that if they're pretty collars, they're usually your air hoses, so make sure they're not leaking air or nothing. You're going to come down. This is your power steering fluid. Make sure you check it. They have a dipstick, they have a line. Make sure it's secure, there is not leaking in any way. You're checking your springs, the hangers, and the shackles. Make sure they're secure, that they're not shifted in any way, that they're not broken. Make sure the U-bolts are there with the nuts on the bottom of it. That is something that the CDL guy is hunting. You're going to check your axle across there to make sure it's not cracked or welded in any way. You're going to check your shock, make sure it's secure, that it's got its bushings, and that it is not leaking. Right behind it right here is your tie rod. You're going to make sure that your tie rod is secure, that it is not bent or broken in any way, that it has its castellated nut and its Carter keys and bushings.
You send this to you too. I can send this to you.
Okay, then you're going to grab a hold of this lovely thing that no one has ever grabbed a hold of. And you're going to grab a hold of this because I'm dirty and mine has a hole there that's so clean at all times. You're going to grab a hold of this thing and you're going to twist your steering arm. You're going to make sure that that the U-joints rotate, and it should not move more than like 2 inches in that.
Is that also called a pitman arm?
Nope,
No,
that's
part
my
of your
steering
air
arm.
Let's steer it, yeah.
No, my pitman arm, it is part of this system, but not there. This is your gearbox. You're going to check your gearbox to make sure it's secure, that it is not leaking. CDL guy needs to know that the hoses are not leaking on it. You're going to come down to your pitman arm, your drag link, your Ackerman arm. You're going to make sure they're not on a bind, they're not cracked or broken. All of them have their bushings, their castellated nut, and their Carter keys.
Sorry.
Then you're going to come into your brake system. You're going to check your brake hose and your ABS line to make sure they're not frayed, no holes leaking. You're going to come into your brake chamber. You're going to make sure it's secure, that it's not dented, cracked, broken, or not leaking. You're going to come into your push rod, your clevis, and your Carter keys. You're going to make sure they're not on a bind and the Carter key is there. You're going to come down to your slack adjuster. You're going to pull on it. You're going to make sure that with the brakes released, you should not be able to pull it more than 1 inch by hand. With the brakes set, you should be no more than a 90-degree angle. I can't pull this. If I can pull this, we have a major problem. Okay, so most likely you're not going to be, probably you can pull it out some.
Not a proper.
Oh, really? Mike can. That's what I. If you come on down here, there's a ring, and right here, you're going to check to make sure you have your snap ring, and your S cam goes back into this right here. So there should be a snap ring and your S cam. Make sure they are secure, and you have the snap ring. The only thing that holds your brake system together is that Carter key and your snap ring.
That's comforting.
Isn't it? Okay. Then you're going to go on into your brake lining. It should be no less than 1/4 of an inch on the front. You're not going to really be, if they're going to have the dust pad things on the inside, you're not going to really be able to see it, but it should be no less than 1/4 of an inch on the front. Then you're going to go into your brake drum, which you can see your drum better from outside here. We're going to look for cracks or welds on it. If it's discolored, of overheating, and it would be discolored on your drum. Okay? Then you're going to go into your rim. You're going to check your inner and outer rim. You're going to make sure it's no cracks or welds on it, and that it is round. They have to be round, guys. Did you service this thing recently?
Work good.
Okay.
It's a bird.
Oh, okay. Then you're going to check your lug nuts. You're going to make sure you have 10 of them, that they're all tight, and that you see no rust trails or no shininess in them. You're going to check your inner and your outer hub seal. You're going to make sure that it is not leaking. Now you're going to see some fluid around it. Don't get alarmed if they've refilled them too much or something like that. But now if you see fluid all over it, have them look at it, okay? You're going to make sure that you have a metal valve stem and a metal cap. Then you're going to come to this lovely tire. You're going to check the inner and the outer of your tire. You're going to look for cuts, bumps, and abrasions. You're going to make sure that you have even tread. If it's not, that could be a sign of a bad kingpin. You're going to make sure that this tire is not a recap. This tire is a Goodyear. Chris, what kind of tire you got over there?
An endurance.
Well, then we got a problem.
Oh,
Endurance is Goodyear.
Okay. Okay. You need to make sure that if this is a Goodyear, that has to be a Goodyear. It has to be the same exact tire. Because the steering tire and they have to match, okay? How much is your tread, if anybody read?
432.
432's on the front,
430 seconds on the front.
232's on everything else.
They're never going to get there. I'll tell you that. I mean,
Get there, but boy, that is not much.
so they're not going to ever get there.
It's an eighth of an inch.
You're going to have to check your.
Do we
air
have a?
pressure.
Will we get a gauge to be able to check that?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's gauges, but no. You're
Okay.
never there's actually.
So, like, if you would put your finger in there, where's the cutoff point?
Do they have wear bars on them, Chris?
Should have wear bars in them.
This part of your finger is like an inch.
These ones don't, though. Not these ones.
I just remember this part of your finger is like
Huh?
Okay.
I don't know, that's the way it helps me.
Completely bald.
Everybody's is like this. It
Okay.
just it's approximate. It's not exact. So I always look at that and like cut in half
That is
again.
430 seconds.
So it's pretty small.
They're never going to get there, guys.
Okay.
Okay, never going. These guys pull these in every 30 to 45 days. They're never going to get there.
Okay.
Okay.
Again, this is probably part of the CDL part, isn't it? That
Yeah, he's not
that
going
30
to.
seconds is part of the.
Yeah, that number is important.
Yeah.
It is part of it, but it's also for us too.
And
I
tire
realize
treads
what I'm saying is
always-
that's probably why it's included in all this because it's.
Well, we do want to check our tires,
I
but
understand we do. I'm
but
just saying,
yeah.
And they're always in
These guys
30
do a better
seconds. We
job.
can't reduce them
I'm sure
down.
there's some.
Okay, you're also going to check your air pressure once a week to manufacturer specifications stamped on tire. Guys, you're never going to check your air pressure on a tire they're not dumb enough to hand you.
But it may start.
Oh, really? Well, then you're going to have a whole heck of a lot of flat tires.
we don't have to check the air pressure on our inspection.
Not on your regular inspection for the test, yes, but not.
For the test.
Just tell them that you would check
You're
it.
going to check it once a week. Because what's going to happen is your rear tires is the hardest to check, and everybody's going to start checking them, and we're going to have inside flat dual tires, and is what's going to happen. So that's why they don't let you check them, okay?
So when we're doing our inspection, do we have to do that for every tire, or can we say I'm going to do this one the
No,
same
you
as I
have
would
to
do the? Okay.
Every tire. You
Okay.
have to say
Well.
everything
Okay.
Add
all
up
the
your
way around
250
there, guys.
though.
Okay.
Help us get to 250.
Okay, then you're going to also check your inner fenders to make sure they're not cracked or broken, and you're going to check your mud flap to make sure it's not cracked, broken, and that we have it. Chris, do the other side.
Hold on. Hold up.
You're over there. I don't remember how to do it.
Oh, come on. You got this.
Your bus driver, ain't you?
Nope, mechanic.
You drive bus?
Nope. You'll do the general overview again for oilness. Make sure there's no broken or frayed wires or anything that's unhooked. The hoses. Get your air hoses. Make sure that they are secure. They're not, no holes, damp, cracks, breaks. They are secure. Air box. It is secure. It's not broken or cracked or damaged. Check inside for foreign objects. Breather hose, make sure it's secure, not broke or damaged, or not allowed to use the D word.
Damage?
Your damage and my damage is different, and I'm hard to break it. It is not cracked, it is not broken, it is secure.
Thank you.
The stick will teach you the D word. You check your exhaust manifold for leaks or if it's cracked or broken. You'll find a soot trail if it is leaking. You'll check your turbo also for soot trails. It also has oil and antifreeze running through it, so for leaks that it is secure. Your lovely starter,
Wait, point to the turbo. Where's that?
It's that round thing.
Okay, okay.
your lovely starter is hiding down there, but you're going to check it to make sure it is secure,
Okay.
not broken.
No problem.
No frayed wires coming off from it. Your alternator, it's not, or it is secure, it's not broke. No frayed wires coming off of it. You'll check your belt for proper tension. Grab it and pull a little bit. If there's something wore out, you're going to pull it. Real easy. You check your tensioner, your water pump, and make sure it is secure, not leaking. Oil filter, that it is not leaking. It is secure.
Is that the white thing?
Yep.
Okay. Look at me go. Hey. Sorry.
Your horns are secure. They're not damaged. They're not broken. No broken or frayed wires. You usually do the outside. I do the inside.
See what you know.
Washer fluid reservoir, that it is secure. It is not broken or leaking. And you proper it level. Enough for the trip.
Yeah, you're good.
Just like the other side, you'll check your frame for cracks, weld, or drilled holes. It's not allowed. Shock, bolts, bushings, it is secure, not damaged, it's not broken.
Damaged and damaged again.
Yeah, and I got kicked too. Did you see that? Your ABS valve, that it is not broken. It is secure. It's not leaking. Your air line, your ABS wire, they are secure. They're not broken. They're not leaking. No broken or frayed wires on the ABS wire.
Well, you can go. You need to go ahead and go with it now.
Brake chamber, that it is secure. It is not dead or broken. It is secure, not leaking. Push rod, clevis, pins, and Carter keys are secure, not broken. I know it's empty. You can't pull it no more than 1 inch with brake released. Slack adjuster, S-cam snap.
Just get back over and finish that.
Finish what I did.
The slack adjuster.
Can't pull it no more than an inch with brake released. No more than 90-degree brake applied. It's been a couple years. It's only my 10th time in class, and I still haven't learned. Brakes no less than 1/4 inch on the front. If you're looking for excessive heat.
Reinforcement.
I said that. You walked away to my toolbox.
Okay.
Did I not say S-cam and snap rings?
Yeah,
Okay.
you did.
She's trying to find my snacks in my drawers. And it's empty. Brake drum, you'll check it for heat wear, heat, stress, cracks, no welds. It must be round. Check your inner and outer rim. It must be round, no cracks or welds. Your lug nuts must be tight, no rust trails or shininess. And there's 10 of them. You'll be surprised how many drivers here does not realize their bus has 10 lug nuts. You're going to check your inner and outer wheel seal, that it is not leaking, that it is secure.
Are we struggling this bad?
Just a tad.
Tire.
You're going to check your inside and outside of your tires for cuts, bumps, and abrasions. This tire must match that tire. Cannot be a recap. Must have 4/30 seconds of tread. Look for even tread wear. Could be a sign of bad kink pins.
Bad what?
Kink pins.
Okay.
You'll check your tie rod end on this side.
Can we finish the time?
I don't know, did I not?
That the lettering has to be legible. That we check the air pressure once a week.
Once a week to manufacturer specification, it must have a metal valve cap and a valve stem. Metal.
More enthusiasm.
Okay, now you can finish what you forgot. Tyler.
Pink pin. What's a pink pin?
It is actually the pin that goes straight down through. It's your pivot on your wheel.
Okay.
Copy it.
All right, got it.
Would you like to here?
Right there.
You right down through here.
Your tie rod end must have a calculated nut with a Carter key. And bushings. I don't know why you say bushings. There's no bushing
Yeah,
there.
because of the one and all that.
Just rubber bushing. Okay, close enough.
Shock,
I said the shock.
springs.
I'm looking for the spring,
Okay.
that they are not shifted, cracked or broken or damaged. That I have my 2 U-bolts with my 4 nuts on the bottom that are tight. I'm looking for at my hangers and shackles to make sure that they are not broken. They are secure. I know I'm better get a foot up the hind end. Axle, that it is not welded, bent, that it is secure. There's a whole lot. My inner fender, that it is secure, it is not cracked or broken. Inner fender up here too. My mud flap, that it is there, it is secure, it's not ripped or
It's there.
it's damaged. I'm not allowed to use the D word.
No, you're not.
I'm gonna get in a lot of trouble here in a little bit. That is everything we did, right?
Okay, I would suggest now that you do lower your hoods.
We'll put it back up and let you take pictures later.
So I might have to get a step stool for these freaking windshield wipers.
We don't check the
Okay, I was gonna say, 'cause
I'll
I
make
can't
sure they
reach.
have the rubber on the inside when I look at it, because if not. Okay, you're gonna start down the side. You're gonna again look to make sure there's no broken glass in none of your windows, no visible damage or anything to the bus. You're gonna start at the top. We're gonna check the 3 clearance lights across the top. You're gonna make sure they're secure, they're not cracked or broken, and they're working. You need 2 ambers in the front of the duals and a red's behind the duals. Also, this one has a camera halfway back on the side. Make sure it is secure and there's no frayed wires or anything. You're gonna check their window here to make sure it's not cracked or broken. And it's secure. You're gonna check your fuse box. You're gonna open the door to make sure it works properly. You're gonna check to make sure that you have no foreign objects, that there's no frayed wires. We're going to tell you that you have 3 spare fuses. You will never have 3 spare fuses. They're not dumb enough to give them to you. You're going to come down here. You're going to check your battery box. You're going to make sure the door works properly and latches. You're going to make sure your batteries are latched in and are secure. You're gonna make sure there's no corrosion on top of your excessive corrosion on top of your batteries, no frayed wires. Also in the very back where the wires go through the bus, there is a rubber grommet. You need to make sure it is there. Also, if you notice on this door, it tells you have a main disconnect. Make sure that you have that main disconnect right here, that it's there. What that is for is if something would happen, the bus could catch on fire, electrical fire or something, you can hit that button and it'll shut all the power off to the bus.
How do you check that bar?
You just make sure it's back there. It has to have a rubber seal, that's all it is. A rubber seal that the wires go through. It can't be metal. You're gonna check your stop sign. You're gonna make sure that it's legible on both sides, it's reflective, that all 4 lights work, they're not cracked or broken, and they are working. In the back, you have your wires back here. You're gonna make sure they're not frayed, that the air bellow is secure, that it's not leaking, and that the mount is secure on the bus. Again, make sure we have bus 363. Has to be the same all the way around. And legible. Make sure that you have your turn signal 4-way flasher, that it is secure, that it is not cracked or broken, and it is working. Also, you're going to have reflectors. You should have 2 amber in front of the duals, and there should be a red in front of the dual, behind the duals. Make sure they're secure, not broken or cracked. If you have cameras here, make sure that it is secure, it's not cracked or broken, and make sure they're clean, please. You're going to come back through, you're going to make sure that all your emergency exits are labeled with reflective tape around them. You're going to make sure Mon County Schools is right down the side and it is legible. You're going to make sure the reflective tape is all the way down the side of it and not tore. If you notice on this one, behind that dual tire is a light. It is your reverse light. Make sure it is secure and it's not cracked or broken.
You need a creeper?
Where are they?
I ain't been here for a week.
I mean, where? Well, no, I need to sit down. I really don't want to sit down on that wet floor. I mean, where are?
You want to see
No,
the
I want to go. I found one. Here. This is Matt's. That's fine. I have Matt's. 'Cause I don't want to sit down on that wet floor. Oh gosh, I'm getting too old to do this. Okay. The best way for me to do this is to be under the bus, guys. That's why I'm under here. Okay, if you turn around, you're going to see the square box in the middle. That is your transmission. Let's please make sure that it is not leaking. Sitting right behind that transmission, right beside of it, all the green and orange wires, it goes into your air dryer. Make sure that it's not leaking.
Sorry guys, I'm totally in the way.
Make sure it is not leaking, the air dryer, okay? You're going to come back. You have 2 air tanks. This is one.
Yeah, you said right.
Yeah, it's okay.
Oh, here's the other one. You have 2 air tanks. They might be in different places, but you have 2 air tanks. Make sure they're not leaking. They're secure. Then you're going to come back. You have your drive shaft. Make sure your drive shaft is not on a bind, not broken. Make sure you have your safety loops. And make sure you have your U-joints and your carrier bearings for each section. Looks also on the other side. You're going to make sure you have your frame, that it's not cracked or welded, no holes drilled into it, and it is secure. Up here is your cross members. You're going to make sure that they're secure, they're not cracked or broken. They can be welded, okay, but they have to be certified welder and all that. But you might see some of them welded, and that's all right. You're also going to come under here and you're going to look up here. There's body pads. You're going to make sure that they're all secure there, and there cannot be 3 of them missing in a row. Let's go back here now. Okay, as you sit here, it's easier for me to do this sitting here. You have part of your exhaust system, make sure it's secure. No soot trails on it right now. We'll check the rest of it when we go on the other side. You're going to look at the front of your differential. You're going to make sure there is no leaks in it. You're going to see both of your springs. You're going to make sure the hangers are secure. You're going to make sure your springs are secure. There's no shifted leaves. They're not cracked or broken. You're going to make sure that the U-joints are there with all 4 nuts on the bottom of them. You're going to check, as you're back here, you can check both of everything if you're sitting under it. If not, you're using a cross view method. Right now I can check both of my airlines and my ABS line to make sure they're secure, they're not leaking, and the ABS lines are not frayed. I can check both of my brake chambers that they are secure, there's no dents, cracks in them, and they are not leaking. I can check both push rod, clevis, and Carter keys on both tires or both chambers that they are secure and not in a bind. I can check both slack adjusters. If the brakes are released, I should not be able to move them more than 1 inch. If the brakes are applied, I shouldn't be no more than 90 degrees. I can check both S-cams and S-cam and snap rings that they are secure. I can look at both of my brake linings that cannot be no less than 5/16 on the back, and I can see both of my brake drums that they are secure, that they are round, there is no cracks or welds or no discoloration in them. I can also, while I'm sitting here, I can see the back axle, it's secure, not cracked or broken, welded or any of that crap. Where am I at? I can see both of my inner rims, they are secure, they are round, they are not cracked or broken. I can also see my inner hub seals, both of them, that they are not leaking. If I come here, I can actually see in between these lovely doors to make sure they are secure. They are evenly spaced and there is no debris in between them. I can also see here, I'm going to check both rims, the inner and the outer of both rims, that they are secure, they are round.